Hello folks, hope you're all keeping well. NI Detecting back again with another video. As I said in my last video, I was going to the Detectival metal detecting rally in Oxfordshire. Well, I did go and had a great time. Took the boat from Dublin to Holyhead. This is the boat coming in to Holyhead, and that's the docking at Holyhead Port. I had about an hour's drive from Holyhead to the camping site in North Wales, Pen Ma 1 or something like that you call it. You know how them Welsh words are, very hard to pronounce. That's the camping site, lovely scenic camping site. I took a walk up into the hills, and there's a guy there. When I was coming down, he was peeping round the tree, wondering what was going on. From there I went to Worcester, and I was standing on the banks of the canal where the Battle of Worcester took place. You can read about it there. Right, Detectival. This is the path down to the arena. Obviously a very hot summer like we got. Very stony ground, so the ground does dry out very quick in this area. I've just arrived when I took this clip. That's the camping area. There's a guy with a couple of flags in his caravan. That's mostly French camping. You can see the guys with the blue hoodies. That's a metal detecting club from France. This is down in the arena. All the metal detecting stalls, all the big names. You've got the flows tent. You've plenty of toilets. If you're drinking a lot of beer, you need them. That's all there. It's only really getting together at that stage. I took a walk down when I first arrived. So this is Friday about 3 o'clock. This is field 1. This is really a small field. I think it's one of the smallest fields on the whole rally. That's the little map of all the fields. It goes right up to 24 fields. If you look, you can see the green in the centre there. That's the arena, and you can see field 1 beside it. So you can imagine how big the place is. This is 9:30 Saturday morning, the first morning of the rally. Everybody getting ready for the first day, first dig. Apparently field 1 was full of tokens, like a token hunt, but they didn't tell us about it on the field where most people went. They mentioned it in the arena, but a lot of people weren't in the arena, so a lot of people didn't know there was tokens in there. But I found a lot of buttons and stuff like that in the first field, as you'll see. But I didn't know there was any tokens, or I would have stayed there a while longer and had a look for them. That's another field there. You can imagine the size of this place. Okay, on to my finds. First up, now you know it's not a coin when it doesn't drop off the cloth. There's something holding it on there, so when I eventually get this off, I didn't get my Weetabix that morning. A button. Plain button. Next up, another button. As I said, these were all mostly found in the first field. A crusted up button. Second find. Third find. Another button. Believe it or not. Next up, a ring. think this is some sort of clothes ring, some sort of ornamental clothes ring that's got squashed. I can't see any joint in it, so probably not hardware. That's a little piece of nothing, and it's aluminium. Next up, yo, another button. all really in the first field. I didn't find many buttons in the other fields. That's the cap of a button, I reckon, a two-piece button. Next up, what looks like either a bullet squashed up when it hit a stone, or a seal, a lead seal. There's nothing on it, no detail on it, if there ever was. Next up, this little item looks like the cap of a bottle, but very decorative for a top, and it's copper, so not sure what it is. Any of you guys have any idea, give me a shout. Nice little item, but very thin. It would remind you of a cap of some sort. Next up, this is the ring cleaned up, and as you can see, there's no rough joint on it. You can't see where the metal has been joined to create the ring, so I don't reckon it's hardware. If it was hardware, they wouldn't be too worried about putting a little spot of solder on where they've joined it together. So I reckon it's some sort of clothes ring for holding a cloak, or again, if you any idea, give me a shout. Nothing in the inside of it, no numbers or hallmarks or anything like that. Another button, 4-holer this time, 4-hole button, plenty of buttons. And then I get this square nail. Quite a large one. Well rusted up. Then the nut of a copper pipe, water pipe. Looks very like it. Next up, a lovely wee button. With little petals. It looks like flower petals in the shape of hearts. Now I didn't clean it up, I washed it and shone it up with a shoe brush, and that's the way it came out. Lovely little button. There is some letters on the back of it, but can't make out what it says. Looks quite old. Next up, what looks like a fragment of copper, but on closer examination I could see detail on it. So I asked a couple of guys that I met on the field, and no doubt they said it's definitely a Roman coin. So I took it up to the flow tent, and she passed it over to a girl behind her, and she says 3rd century Roman coin. So my first Roman coin, that's the way they give me it back there in that plastic bag. Not the most beautiful Roman coin, not much detail on it, but if you do hold it at certain angles you can see something on it. But well worn. I suppose after 1700, 1800 years in the ground, it does get a bit battered. But nice to get a wee Roman coin. I'm sitting having a wee vape here while I'm narrating this. Right, onto the scrap again. A cartridge, and then a reed of a mouth organ, I reckon that is. Next up, a little bullet. All lead, small bullet. I think they're normally in copper. Found this on the surface. Piece of glass, multicolored piece of glass. I think it's only the one colour, but that mould or whatever it is has grew on it, and so it's created multicolours. There's it cleaned up, very thick. Don't know what that's come off. Maybe some sort of vessel or something. Looks quite old. Been lying there a while. Went down into another field and peeped through the hedge and seen all these guys. So they're still about. I was going to go in and have a yarn with them, but I was a bit frightened in case they would get spears out or something and do me in. So I just left it. But good to know they're still there. Okay, the travelling pub use this TK Bedford to haul their bar around. In fact, I used to drive one of them myself, and it was a beer lorry I drove, so a bit of a coincidence. That's the big fire there where everybody hangs out when they're having a beer in the evening. Didn't bother myself. Too tired after walking them fields. And that's another little piece of the arena with a big screen in the stage. This is the draw they had. They had one on Saturday at 2:30, I think, and then one on Sunday at 3 o'clock. And this is a little clip coming up of the actual draw. I think this was the last prize
so this is prize
on the Sunday.
20 sponsored by Quest, and you're winning a Quest Q40.
Some great prizes. I've seen a guy walking away with an XP Dace and another guy with an Equinox 800. There's a few other great metal detectors as well.
Ticket 0600.
Alors, c'est le premier ici. Okay.
Well, that's it, folks. I'd just like to say thank you to all the guys that made this happen. I really enjoyed it. I was there last year and I was there this year, so I'll probably go back next year. Yeah, I forgot to mention what was actually found by other people. There was hammered found, there was Roman, there was silver Roman, there was loads of artifacts. Just can't remember, but I think the best find was actually a Saxon cloak hook. Well done to the guy who found it. Okay, folks, see you in the next one in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.